and U.S. Army combat veteran of Iraq and Afghanistan. Ricoh, great to have you back with us.
Thank you, Steve, for having me back on. I really appreciate it.
It's great to have you with us, Ricoh. So recent U.S. airstrikes targeting an oil port, this held by Yemen's Houthis, were the deadliest attack on the Iranian-backed group yet. What is your assessment of the current U.S. military strategy for Iran's proxies?
So what the United States is doing is a very precise and precision attack here, trying to ensure that there's no border regional escalation here. We know for a fact that the Houthis have Iranian-backed militias and also methodologies and warfare tactics. But the United States wants to ensure that they're taking the Houthis on head on and straight on with different modalities and methodologies. And what that's going to do is send a message not only to two people, two different types of areas, the adversary and also the allies. To the allies, come to join us so we can fight these terrorist organizations, so we can have free trade, so we can trade amongst our countries and be there for each other. And to the adversaries, that we will look the eye of our enemy straight forward and take the fight to them. And that's what the United States is doing to the Houthis.
To your point, the United States is now alleging that a Chinese satellite company is directly supporting these Houthi attacks. How involved is the CCP when it comes to funding Iranian-backed terrorist groups?
Yeah, so the CCP actually has a really big relationship with Iran and also the region itself. If you take Africa and also Yemen specifically, you'll see a lot of Chinese infrastructure there. And they've placed their flag there knowing that they're going to be going against the United States, whether it's military or economically. So they have a big presence in regards to establishing the resistance towards the United States.
The second round of negotiations over Tehran's advancing nuclear program is set to take place Saturday in Italy. What do you see as the main objective of these talks, and what leverage might the United States have going in?
So one of the biggest leverages that the United States has going into these talks for nuclear power and also nuclear weapons is that Iran has made it very explicit that they want death to America, unfortunately. And if we allow Iran to have nuclear weapons, not necessarily nuclear powers, because they need that for their civilians and the community in their country, but nuclear weapons is that they will more than likely take the fight not only to the nearest ally of ours, but also to the United States. I think these are very delicate times. We have to balance how a country advances itself in the good way versus trying to become a warlord.
Now, Defense Department officials are reportedly preparing to brief the president on various missile defense options modeled after Israel's Iron Dome. This to protect the United States, the continental U.S., and beyond. What does a U.S. Iron Dome initiative entail, and why do you think the Trump administration is now considering this essential?
Yeah, I think the United States has taken heed to what happened when Iran launched the missiles to Israel and saw how effective and efficient an Iron Dome is. They did a very exquisite job in regards to knocking those missiles down. And so the United States kind of took an internal assessment and said, hey, we actually have to do this for ourselves, because the next wave of warfare is not only technology, cybersecurity, cyber warfare, but also more than likely drones. And it can be done very inexpensively. And if you look at the United States, we may have some stuff, in our back pocket, but we actually have to have these Sea Whizzes, Sea Rams, and whatnot to do some sort of aerial defense and create this Iron Dome for us to protect our assets, our people, and our country.
Certainly a concerning prospect. We saw the drones play out in Israel coming from Iran. There's been concerns of drones flying over, the eastern part of the United States as of late. What was the original strategic defense initiative back from the Reagan era, and why was it ultimately canceled? And would this new initiative be preserved now if a future administration decides to take a different approach?
I think once you set the wheels in motion for a national security preservation to ensure a Iron Dome is protecting its people, I believe that the next administration has a responsibility and actually has the moral justification to ensure that this Iron Dome is up, because you're not only protecting this president and this party, but you're also protecting its people and also the other party's people as well. So you have to look at it from a holistic, bigger perspective.
Ricoh Danielson, appreciate you joining.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Coming up.